Yeah, hello, my people. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching Chinedu Anichi TV from. Chinedu Anichi TV, Australia, my family in Australia, how are you doing? Those in Europe, those in Asia, those in America, those in Nigeria, those in Africa, those in Enugu State, those from Osaka, Idekarumona, where I come from. How are you doing? So I greet you most fundamentally. And today is a great day. Today we'll be having one of our great brothers, a public speaker, an entrepreneur, a mindset coach, an evangelist. Oh, a lot of things. Emeka is into a lot of things. So a social media expert, a media personality. So we're going to have him today in the studio. And today he will be talking about chasing your dream now. Chase your dream. That is what we're going to discuss today about your dream. And he's going to share his personal life, his personal experience. So, because he has this experience that is mind blowing, that is unique, that is not ordinary, and generally seen with every other person, that is why I want to bring him in for you people to say. So, today, my people, we will be talking with Eze Emeka, evangelist Eze Emeka. Evangelist Eze Emeka will be live in this studio, and for 1 or 2 minutes, I'll be bringing him up because I want him to put one or two things together, share this live on his pages, then he can come back. He's right in the stage right away, but for now, I want him to share one or two things on his page. So, and for you who is coming, Anthony Gregory, Anthony, what has happened? Anthony, you have not been in, I have not seen you for some time now. Who is this? Well done, sir. More grace, much love from African Rangers. Kelly Emmanuel, right from Cairo, Egypt, from African Rangers. African Rangers is a team, is a FIFA team that I am sponsoring in Egypt. So we don't shout, but we know what we're doing. So, Mary Ernest, how are you? And Gregory, share this live video. Once you are coming in, just keep sharing the live video. How are you? I'm okay. I'm okay. So, let's share the live video. For those of you who are on Instagram, I want you to open up. Today we'll be having two shows. After we deal with Emeka, we'll be having another show immediately after we round up with Emeka. We'll be having a show where we're going to discuss the protest that is going on. They are planning in Nigeria. I have a couple of people who are experienced, who are exposed, youth leaders of different capacities who will be contributing. But for now, Emeka is ready right in the studio. My people, I'll have the privilege to bring this evangelist, this entrepreneur, this media personality, this social media expert, and his name is Evangelist. He will tell us how he's evangelizing anyway. So, but his name is Evangelist Eze Emeka from Ebonyi State, Southeast Nigeria, Africa, doing well. May I have the privilege to bring Emeka to this TV? Wow. The evangelist, how are you doing? Mute. So, how are you doing, evangelist?
Yeah, I'm very fine. I'm so excited to be with you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO. And this is Chinedu Anichi TV, streaming live from St. Louis, Missouri, United States of America. So, we are the African voice in diaspora. So, what we do surely in this place is to bring in our best in Africa and give them a voice. So you are one of our best. You're one of our celebrities. So you're live here to discuss chase your dreams. Okay? So, and you are going to share life experience that is unique and special. So I will allow you to officially introduce yourself to our viewers. And let's start from there. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be live with you right now. I count it a rare privilege because it's been my dream to be able to speak with Africans, Nigerians, and of course, the whole world at large. So, my name is Emeka Eze. I call myself your friend and neighbor. And my passion is to inspire young people to chase their dreams because I believe that it is possible if they can pay the price, because there is a price to pay for everything you want. You can't just go to the market and buy things without, exchanging maybe your resources for it. So there is a price for everything you want from life. So I'm from a born state, and I think that is good for my intro. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's wonderful, Omeka. Well, we're lucky and people rushing. You can see we're 130 watching already. So, and I are here today. You're a wonderful personality. But I want to tell you something. Whenever you come to this show, you have to exercise some privilege. And the privilege is that we want to know the story that gave birth to your glory. Some people might think Emeka fell down from heaven and became Emeka of mentorship world. No, but there is a story behind every glory. Can you share the little beginning of yours that might be inspiring and encouraging to others? Even if you were born with a spoon, a silver spoon in your mouth, just tell us today. Thank you very much.
Okay. Once again, I want to appreciate you, and I want to appreciate everyone watching right now. I want to let you know that your dream is possible. You've got to know that you were born for a purpose. You didn't just show up in this world. You are not an accident. Even though maybe you were born, you are an orphan living in an orphanage home, it doesn't mean you came by accident. God destined you to come into this world and solve a problem and make a difference. And that is what becomes your legacy. That is what becomes what you'll be remembered for. So I want to let you know that you have greatness inside of you, and the world is waiting for you to manifest it, and you've got to be intentional in making it happen. Judging from my background, I didn't believe that I would have the kind of confidence, self-esteem that I have right now to be able to talk to you, but something happened along the line, and that is what I believe for you. Maybe you were born in a family that you were maltreated, and you were always told you will never become anything. And right now, those words went into your subconscious mind that each time you want to do anything worthwhile, that voice comes up again and tell you, don't you remember who you are? Don't you know what you were told? But from today, I want you to consider what anybody has told you that is negative, that it is other people's opinion. You should not allow it become your reality. That is not God's plan for us. I remember growing up as a little boy, I watched my mother. My mother, according to the story, was with my father doing well at Abuja until they decided to relocate to the village, and something happened. I was told that they kept sham for her and she matched it, and that devastated her. It was in that condition that she got pregnant of me. So before I was giving birth to, my mother was not stable enough to be able to take care of me. So I was born and given out to people around. Of course, according to the story, my father took my mother from one hospital to the other, looking for solution. all to no avail. So at some point, my father gave up and had to succumb to getting another wife, which is his decision and it's fine for him. But I discovered, rather, I found myself being raised by different set of people. I was maltreated and constantly told that I will never become anything. I remember one day I was watching my siblings eat and I rushed to join them and I was given a knock on my head. And I was wondering, I just rushed to the back of our house crying, asking God, why me? When will all this thing change? I don't know the background that you have. I don't know the story behind you. I don't know what you've been going through. I don't know the oppression, subjugation that you've been subjected to over the years. But I want to tell you that whatever that you want to become in life, that it is possible if you do not allow those in your background to hold you down. Do not allow your background to put you back on the ground, because if you can get up, if you can wake up, if you can stand up, you can make great things happen in your life. So that is what happened to me. I remember sometimes for me to feed, I had to go through the ceiling because I was prevented. My mother was not there. Nobody was there to speak for me. When your mother is not there, you will have to go through series of deprivation, series of starvation, series of lack. But such is life. Maybe you were born by, maybe your mother died while giving birth to you. And since then, your father abandoned you. You've been struggling all your life. But I want you to have a dream for your life. Have a dream for your life. Growing up, I had a dream to be able to take care of my mother. That was my initial dream. I watched her struggle through life. I used to see her in a condition that I wasn't proud of. I used to be ashamed of her because of her condition. And I had a dream that when I grow up, I will be able to take care of her. So I kept watching, hoping that one day things will change for me. Then I will be able to raise some funds to be able to take her to a good hospital where her condition can be remedied. Maybe your parents is in that condition right now and things don't seem to get better and you're wondering, when will all these things change? I'm telling you that life is in phases. It is a phase in your life. Do not think that it is permanent. It is a temporary situation that will pass away. So I remember the most difficult day of my life. At some point, I was in Lagos. I was in Snake Island, Lagos in 2015 when I got the saddest news that my mother was dead. And it broke me. I cried so hard. Said that she could not even stay to enjoy the fruit of her labor. It was so sad. I don't know what is making you sad now. Maybe you've lost your loved one. You've lost your father who promised to be able to take you through the university to make your life comfortable, and he's no longer there, and you are being maltreated. You are being treated like an outcast. I want to tell you that all of those things do not determine your destiny. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because there is a greater future for you. All of those things is an experience in life that you're supposed to learn through and be stronger. Yes, you have the capacity to endure any situation and turn it to a testimony. Because without a test, there will be no testimony. So every test you go through is building, is yielding, is going through a process of testimony. So I don't know what you're going through right now. I know that in this part of the world, there's a lot of things that a lot of young people go through, and they wonder, will there ever be changed? I want to tell you that there is a change. There is a change. So while in the village, my father wanted to give me out to one man who he wanted me to go and serve as an apprentice, but something happened. I want to tell you that for everything that happens to you, it is according to the plan of God. It is according to the purpose and plan of God. That it didn't go the way you wanted it doesn't mean that it's against the plan of God. He said, many are the thoughts in our heart, but God's plan will come to pass no matter how you want it. Because God He has already seen your future, and He knows that if you go through this way, you're never going to survive. So it was that same period that one of my uncle who lived in Delta State came back and requested that I should go with him. And that was how I left the village. And when I got to Delta State, I began to do, went into recording. I just keyed into the business he was doing. He had to train me on how to support him. But I kept hearing this word: I will send you back to the village. See, any day you make me angry, I will send you back to the village. Do you know why he could say that? Because my mother was not there. And home was not good for me, because I won't be welcomed there. Maybe where you live now, your family do not want to see you. And you're wondering, what kind of life is this? Where are you going to find home? I have been there. But I did not allow all of those things to stop me. It made me stronger in life. All of the things I had to go through became a stepping stone for me to become who you're seeing right now. So I was with my uncle, supporting him, doing his business, helping him the way I can as a little boy, until it got to where I was supposed to sit for common interest, that is in primary 6. He refused to pay. So I couldn't sit for it. So that was how my father got angry and brought me back to the village, and I began from there. Then I began to see my mother again. As at that time, she had been chased from the house. She was chased out. She had to go back to her mother's place. Imagine, and I happened to be the first son. And I was asking myself, why would they do this to me? Why would they do this? Maybe your mother is going through that same thing. Maybe your father abandoned her. I know how it feels. Sometimes you feel like revenging. No. All of those is just a process of life. All of those is called such is life. It happens to people. Do not allow it become your source of misery. Let it become your source of motivation. Let it become the thing that will inspire you when you go through troubles. So I was in secondary school, and I found out I had this ability to talk to people. And I began to nurse this dream to be able to use my gifts to impact my world. So one day they organized a debate in my school, and I wanted to participate so that I can be able to, have that opportunity to talk to people. So I had crammed whatever I'm going to say, that women education does not end in kitchen. I had done my research. I was prepared for the show, and I got to the front of the crowd, and everything I read, everything I crammed disappeared from my head. I couldn't remember nothing. So people were shouting. They used to call me Papilo, Mento Chemical. They used to call me names. All the shouting died down. I couldn't remember anything, and I was jet out of the stage. And that was like, oh my God, what is this? Will I ever try again? I became ashamed of myself. People who become successful in life, they encounter failure type of experiences, but they give it a new perspective. They give it a new definition. It's called process. Every successful person has failed 1,001 times. Every successful person has failed several times, but they never gave up. If you read about many inventors, when they started, people laughed at them, but they never stopped. They never stopped. You know about the Turner. The Turner wanted to create a broadcast channel that would connect the world. And people laughed at him. But how is it possible that you could create a technology that will power and control the world news? But he never gave up. And today, you have CNN. I want to ask you, what is your dream? What is your dream? Because it is possible. I want to let you know that for everything that you want to make happen, it's not going to come easy. After my encounter in school, after that debate, I made up my mind that I'm going to go back there. What have you given up in? That you look at yourself, you say, no, I've failed many times. I've failed enough to try again. Those who succeed, he said the door of success opens to the man who pushes the hardest, because everybody wants to succeed. But the door will open to that man or woman who pushes the hardest. You got to go beyond the extra mile. You got to move further from where people stopped. When the pressure begins, those, just like when you got admission into the university, you might be like 500. But as the years go by, people will begin to drop out. They will drop out before you graduate. From that 500, they might move to just 100 or 200 graduating from that department. That is to tell you what life is about. I remember when I finished secondary school, I had to find my way. How do I leave the village? I needed to leave the village because I had grown up in town and my mindset was different. I knew that I couldn't stay there. You got to make up your mind to leave your comfort zone if you want to make a difference. If you remain where you are, you continue to have recycled experience. Nothing is going to change. So I traveled back to Warri in 2009, and when I got there, everything had changed. I could not even recognize the place. But I made up my mind that I'm going to start. And that was how I became a commercial motorcyclist. I was a commercial motorcyclist for over 7 years. And the motorcycle was not mine. I had to go through hire purchase. So after 1 year of balancing the person, I went out one day and I went to the bank to make a deposit. And a young man who I will forever be grateful for, I will forever be grateful to God for linking me to, his name is Iwayemi Ayodeji. He's currently in United States, and by God's grace, I believe he would be watching this live. Shout out to you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. He told me, Emeka, God asked me to talk to you. And I was like, what did God want use me to? Why does God want to talk to me? So that was on Friday. On Saturday, he visited me and I was living in a very rural place. But he didn't mind. He had to travel to where I was staying and came and preached the word of God to me. I said, Emeka, God loves you. He said, he read from the book of John 3:16. He said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. So as he preached, he prayed for me, and that was how the journey started. On Sunday, he invited me to church. When I got to church, the pastor read from the book of Ephesians 3 verse 20. He said, now unto he who is able to do exceedingly abundantly and above all that you can ever ask or think. And I was like, you mean this God you're preaching to me about has the power to change my story, has the power to change my life? He said, according to the power that works within me. So what is the power? So that was how everything began. So I started going to church, not to fill seats, not to just sit there like everybody else. I wanted to know, why do people go to church? I wanted to understand it for myself. I wanted to connect. I wanted to have a connection with that God to see how he could change my life. So Brother Ayo became interested in me. He was a copper then, and he began to invite me while he was going for their meetings. He used to invite me. I was wondering, I am not a graduate. I don't even have money to go to school. The bike I was using is on hire purchase. I have to pay rent. So why are you inviting me? I didn't know that he wanted to change my mindset. Brothers and sisters, until you change a man's way of thinking, you cannot change his life. No matter what, no matter how you try, it won't work. He wanted to give me a mindset. He wanted to create a picture of a future to me. So when I was looking at those young men who are graduate coppers, I got angry with myself. I was like, can't I be a graduate? What is going on? And I know that because of the family I was coming from, they might not be able to sponsor me. So one day, we went for a fellowship, and they asked me, Emeka, what do you want God to do for you? I said, I want to go back to school. I want to go back to school. And that was it. They prayed for me. That same week, my father that has not been calling, called me. That period, and gave me good amount of money that I had to use it to process my admission. And that was how I started. Everything doubled. Ladies and gentlemen, life became tough. Because right now, I had to pay my house rent. I had to pay my school fees. I had to pay for the hire purchase. It was hard. And that's why a great American said, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. And that was what happened. I made up my mind that when others are sleeping, I'm going to be working. I never, because of my encounter with Brother Iwayemi Ayodeji, I began to read. And when you read, you relate with refined mind. You know, just like as iron sharpeneth iron, so will your mind be sharpened when you relate with sharpened mind. So I read the book called Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill then said, whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, he will achieve. I said, is this possible? And I remember the scripture again. Now unto he who is able to do exceedingly abundantly and above all that I can ever imagine. I said, oh my God, there is a great future here. And that was how everything started. I kept working. I kept going through the pressure, paying all the bills to make sure I do not default. Because if I default with the owner of the motorcycle, he's going to take it away from me and everything will now come crashing. So I kept working hard and I made sure that I never defaulted. And that set a standard for me. Because in my mind, failure is not an option. If you want to succeed in life, you've got to know that there are going to be many roadblocks. That roadblocks is called tests. There are tests, just like before you move from one class to the other, you'll be tested to know if you have the capacity to make it. So that was what I had to go through. I was there. This Brother Ayo had to connect me again. He had to connect me to one company. They were into oil and gas. And brothers and sisters, you need connection. You need connection to move to the next level. So he had to connect me to his friend who is a HR, human resource manager in a company. I went there. As at then, my uncle, everyone knows me, and opportunity came and I had to go for a job at the creek, that is at the riverside. When I came back, my life had already changed and I was looking fresh and all that. After then, they did not call me again. I began to emancipate. All the people that were celebrating me began to laugh at me. And I was like, I had to go back to my Okada again. Ladies and gentlemen, there are things that you're going to try. People may encourage you. Go ahead and do it. But you may do it and get it wrong. Those same people will come back to laugh at you, but never give up. I never knew that my name was already taken. So the turning point of my life, I am, concising the stories because I wanted to be able to, pick some major things, not totally the details, but I wanted to pick those areas that will really impact your life. So the turning point was one day I went for my normal job. On that certain day, from morning to 12 noon, I was moving from one street to the other, looking for who to carry as an Okada man, as a commercial motorcyclist. Nobody joined my bike that day. And on that day, on that fateful day, I didn't go with my phones. So I said, okay, since nobody to pick, let me just go home, rest, then come back by 1 to start again. When I got home, I saw 19 missed calls on my phone. I was like, who is calling? I tried to call the person back. And I called the phone line, and they told me that I have just 30 minutes to be in Chevron yard. Chevron is an oil and gas company. It's a well-known company globally. So I said, what am I going there to do? So I called Brother Iwayemi Ayodeji, and I explained everything to him. He said, come to my office, because I didn't have clothes to wear. Your life can change in a twinkle of an eye. You might have been struggling for years, hustling, thinking nothing is going to change. I'm telling you that one encounter, if you prepare yourself, just like as you know, when preparation meets opportunity, success cannot be denied. It cannot be denied. So I have had experience. I was qualified, but I didn't know that. I thought they had forgotten me. So I went to his office, and he bought clothes for me, and I took my bag and all and the little things I had and went to Chevron yard. And they asked me to come and do scale my bag, because I wasn't aware I was a novice. I jumped into the scale. I jumped on the scale. They almost disqualified me. They said, no, we just want to weigh your bag. They weighed it. The next thing, they said we have to do induction, that we'll be flying, that we are going by helicopter. I was like, what is going on? This is a guy that has been working as an Okada man, from morning to 12, nobody to pick, and you are telling me I'm going to be flying the next few minutes. I couldn't connect it. Maybe you have gone to school. You have learned that skill. Nobody is calling you. Keep refining it. Opportunity is going to come. And it may come when you did not expect. That is what I'm telling you. Because what I'm telling you now is what has changed me. No matter the condition I am now, I know it as I know my name, that things are going to change. Nobody, no situation can make me give up. When I see people commit unalive themselves, I wonder, because they don't have that experience. I have had it, and my mind changed. My mind turned. So we went for the induction, and like a joke, like play, like dream, suddenly we had to line up, and I was to fly with Chevron top executives to the location. So suddenly we lined up, and they gave us the belt for safety, and we done it, and we boarded the helicopter. When it is your time, it will be like a dream. Everybody has their own time. That somebody is shining right now doesn't mean your own time won't come. But what you should pray is that you should also be there when your time will come. Because for some, they will give up. But if you don't give up, your time will come. And it will shock those who never believed in you. So that was what happened. We boarded the helicopter and suddenly the thing began to go up. I was like, wait, my head is about to pull up. The other mind told me, jump out. But I was being held down. Another mind told me, okay, Emeka, calm down. It's a cruise, okay? Just calm down. So I held myself. But what I noticed is that those tall buildings became smaller. Those tall, the palm trees, those tall trees became smaller. Everything became smaller. As we went up, I looked through the window and I realized that my life had just been changed. And I made up my mind that nothing in this world will get me discouraged. Nothing. Like as I'm telling you now, nothing in this world. Even if there's no money to eat, even if I lost everything, nothing, because I know that that situation can turn around in a twinkle of an eye. I want you to know that there is a great future for you. This is the same me that was maltreated in the village. But I never allowed it. I never allowed it to weigh me down. I don't know what is wearing you down now. I don't know what is pulling you down now. I don't know what you cry about when you sleep at night. In the midnight when people are sleeping, you're crying. I want to let you know that for God so loved you that he gave his son. He said, now unto he who is able to change your life. In the book of Mark 9:23, he said, if you can believe, all things, not some things, all things, including your dream, including what you try to become, what you want to become, is possible to him that believes, if you can believe. So let me move to the final aspect. I had gone to the location and we did the job. Everything went fine. And I came back, had fun and enjoyed myself, waiting for the opportunity to come back. Because normally we do exchange. Somebody goes to change me, then I go back to change the person. So one day I came back because during the process I had to upgrade myself. For anything you want, you got to work for it. You got to plan for it. You've got to prepare for it. There is a preparation for every opportunity. So I went for a business management training from Business Management Institute, Berlin, Germany. But it was an online course. I finished it and I sent the result to my operations manager. And I told him that if there is an opportunity to manage a project, that I'm ready. It was like a joke because I had a very cordial relationship with my operations manager. So I was in a very low position. So I came back. The next thing I got was that I was to be in Lagos I didn't know that I had been taken from like number 1 to number 100. All the people that I worked under over the years were put under me. Ladies and gentlemen, then I began to see the real character of human being. I saw envy. I saw jealousy, lies, not like somebody's telling me story. I saw it, how human being can intentionally want to pull you down. So I got opportunity, and I didn't know that I didn't know so much. I didn't know that I didn't know much to deliver that project. But I have a mindset that failure is not an option. I got to that vessel. It was a big ship. I had about 30 staffs, and I had to serve about 500 and something people as clients. So I had to manage 30 staff under me and be able to manage that project. It was It was mind-blowing. That thing expanded my mind to the extent that there are things that I never imagined that I could do. Pressure expounded me that no situation can thwart me anymore. So I found out there are so many things I didn't know. And the vessel came with expatriates from Poland, because these people were, the 500 people I'm talking about were expatriates from all around the world. So I had a lot of things to face. So I said, okay, what am I going to do now? Okay, these people came with the vessel and they have this knowledge that I need. So I humbled myself and I began to jack whatever I needed. You know, when you're under pressure, your mind is actually at its sharpest. When you are at maximum pressure, your mind is at its sharpest. So everything that comes, you pick it. You don't have to learn one thing many times because there's no pressure on you. When there is pressure, your mind will be alert. So within 1 week, I had already jacked enough to be able to manage the project. Suddenly, the representatives of our employer, the people that hired us, said that we can't do the job. And I have a mindset that if you give an African man the same level of exposure, give him the same resources, give him everything he wants, he needs to get the job done, he can get it done. And I had watched my leaders maltreat me and oppress me. And now I'm in a position to stand for them, to speak for them. I said, these people don't know me. So that was how it started. They began to play politics, try to play us out of the project. And that was how the battle started. I fought them. The guy from Poland and I think one from Romania. They made up their mind that they are going to change all our staff and bring in their own people to change our people. And here we are. We are the people that own the resources, but they want to bring in their people. So I said, okay. They began to do some investigation to compile evidence to nail us down. While they were doing that, I was also doing mine. I was in sync with my operations manager, in sync with the chief executive director, that is the owner of the company. We were working. I told them, don't worry, I'm here. I was giving them feedback 24/7 until the final part. Before he could send his report, I think, to Paris. I had already sent it to my operations manager, who forwarded it to the owner of the company, and he forwarded it to the head of their company, telling them, giving them evidence that this guy actually, because of personal selfish reasons, want to pull us out of the contract. And that was how he was repatriated. And that was how my company completely took over that project for the very first time. For the very first time. Since the history of that company, they always have representatives from the other side who will come to monitor. But through what I did, I was able to manage it to the point that they weren't needed. And that's why my message is chase your dream, because it is possible. And there are 3 keys that you must take into consideration if you want to win. My message is, you young African, you young girl, you young boy listening to me, what is your dream? And when I say dream, it's not what you see when you are asleep, when you are sleeping at night. Let me explain what I mean. As a doctor, as a student studying medicine, you know that the future of studying medicine is to become a doctor, right? So now, that thing that you can see yourself, possibly you are in Nigeria studying medicine and you want to practice in America. That is a dream, right? So you can visualize yourself practicing in America even while you're still studying in Nigeria, right? That thing that you see, that picture that you see of you practicing in America is called vision. You have seen it in your mind, but practically you can't feel it, you can't even touch it, it's far away from you. But that dream, but that vision, you keep it in your heart. But because it has not manifested, it becomes a dream you want to make happen. It becomes dream. So when others are playing in your class, in your department, because of your dream, you have attention. You know what you want. You know where you're going. You know you're not going to end up like every other person, because that thing becomes like a motivation. You know that no matter what happens, you're going to get there. And for you to get there, you've got to work harder than everybody. Especially when your parents are not well to do, you need to know that your intelligence will determine whether others will want to sponsor you or help you. So that area that you can do very well, you've got to pay absolute attention to it. So that is what having a dream is about. But I went further to put it in such a way that for you to have a dream that is worthwhile, you got to be related with your giftings. What is your gift? What are you talented in? What is it that you do easily and people struggle to do it? What is it that anytime you do it, it gives you fulfillment? I want you to make up your mind to refine it. Refinement talks about training. Refinement talks about subjecting yourself to mentorship. Refinement talks about you giving yourself to training to refine the talent, just like a skill is something you learn. When you refine your talent, it becomes a skill. And because it's a skill, you do it more than every other person who just learned it. If it is a talent, it means it's connected from within. So when others are tired, you are fired up because it's something you want to do for the rest of your life. For instance, you are a musician, and you know that you're not just trying to be a musician, because there are many people who their talent is not music, but they are struggling to do it. No, if you know that you are a musician and you're good at it, and right now, no sponsor, I want you to visualize yourself performing in global stages. If you can visualize yourself, like what I'm doing now, this life that I have now is a product of my dream. I have encountered so many things that would have sidelined me, but I kept focused. I knew that opportunity is going to come. It's going to come one day. You get my point? So you are a musician, you got to visualize yourself performing in global stages, even though right now you can't even pay for a time in the studio to record. Just keep it in your heart and keep refining that talent. Keep following that your boss. Keep learning from him. That is what Asake did. Asake was a road manager to Shaggy, but he never forgot his dream. He knew he was talented in music. He didn't allow that to kill. He didn't allow the opportunities he had to kill it. And today, he's in a global stage. So what is your own dream? So you are a musician. You've already visualized yourself performing in global stages, but right now, there's no evidence. He said, why would look not at things which are seen? For the things which are seen are temporal. But our focus is on things which cannot be seen with your physical eyes, but you can see it with your mind's eye. You can see it in your mind. You focus on that because it will come to pass. It will come to pass. That's why, that is why Napoleon had to say it, that the greatest discovery of mankind is that whatever he can conceive in his heart and believe that he will make it happen is going to come to pass. It may not happen immediately, but it will happen. So keep that vision in your mind and let it become your dream. When others are discouraged, that picture will come back. Don't you know who you are? You are a global performer. You are a global celebrity. Don't worry. Don't allow this maltreatment. Don't allow the temporary situation, temporary lack, temporary deprivation to stop you. Don't worry. It's a matter of time. And things will begin to change. And the Holy Spirit just told me, stop now. God bless you.
Yeah, I love that part of the Holy Spirit because, prophecy is under a prophet.
Yes.
Yes, that's what we call prudence.
Yeah.
The definition of prudence is knowing when to and when not to.
Yes.
Do you understand? So, and one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit is prudence. So, I respect your prudent approach to the discussion because in the next 20 minutes we'll be entering another program.
Wow,
that's
so fantastic.
You will still be in the show, but some other persons will join you, and we'll discuss something else. So, because something came of importance, which is the protest they are going to do in Nigeria. So important people are coming to join us. Some are already watching. They are waiting for the time. So you see, you are very blessed. You are carrying a lot of crowd today. So so that's what it's going to be. So the issue, my brother, you have explained to us, and that is mind blowing. That is encouraging. You see, I continue to tell my people that I'll continue to bring contents that will be educative, that will be inspiring, and life-saving. So I love the way you shared your own experience. You didn't say somebody told you. You didn't say you read from a book. You didn't say you watched a movie. It was your own movie. And that's why we say we are African Voice in Diaspora, that people should come and talk their own talk. So this is your story. This is your life. This is your testimony. And it is mind-blowing, and I must confess. Thank you for your resilience, and thank you for not giving up. Because if you have given up, you will not be here today. You will not be a resource person to be in this. The small me will not have the big you for the world to listen to. But thank God you were resilient. Thank God you never gave up. And thank you. For those who are listening to us, the topic is chase your dreams because it is possible. It is possible. There's something I want to tell our people. Impossible also means I am possible. Impossible also means I am possible. It depends on the way you are looking at it. When you say the word impossible, it also means I am possible. So those things you see as obstacles can become stepping stones. I read a book by Norman Vincent Peale. He called it the power of positive thinking. He said, throw your heart across the obstacle and the body will follow. I read another book by Scuba. He called it tough times do not last, but tough people do. If you toughen yourself, you will always navigate to victory. I read another book by Robert Greene. He called it the 33 strategies of war. He said, throw your heart across the obstacle, the body will follow. I read another book by Osontos. They call it the art of war. He said, the difference between can and cannot is the not. If you remove the not, you can. I have read books and books and books and books, and they continue to remind me. These are experiences of men, even though some are demonstrated and packaged in a Machiavellian ways, maybe sharing some Machiavellian principles, but they still have certain things to tell us. Do you understand? We still have communications that are relevant, or information or ideas that are relevant. So what we are trying to say today is that when you think positive, you get positive. The mind is everything. I read a book called Mind is Everything. I still have it here. It's about 1,836 pages or there. I read it. See, and when I finished it, I became something else. There's a book I'm reading now. Yeah, the name of the book is The Science of Getting Rich. The Science of Getting Rich. You see, there's something we will let our people know. What our people know is that there is a law of nature that is constant. If I want to ask you a question, Emeka. If you climb 200-story building If you jump down from there and fall down, what do you think will happen to you? Be straight.
The person will be gone.
Okay. Okay. What if a Chinese jump down from the building?
If a Chinese jumps, unless he's with harness belt,
No, don't at least next bed. The way you jumped. If a Chinese jump the way you jump, what will happen to the Chinese?
They have the capacity to land safe.
If a Chinese without anything, without any parachute, and
no,
just like
a Chinese without anything, just like I jumped first, he's gonna die or get injured just like me.
Okay. What if a German jumps without anything?
The same results.
Okay, now you will see now there is a principle that has no respect for your color. There is a principle that has no respect to your nationality. There's a principle that has no respect to your background. There's a principle that has no respect to where you're coming from. And that principle is the law of gravity. That whenever you are falling down, it doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter where you come from, that is how the life of positivity and conquering events is. Each time it has no respect. You see, there are principles that govern richness, there are principles that govern growth, there are financial principles, there are spiritual principles, there are metaphysical principles. Some of these principles are internal. It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with where you are coming from. It has nothing to do with your height. It has nothing to do with your language. It has nothing to do with your village people. It is a principle.
That's true.
The way the principle treated a white man is the way it's going to treat Emeka. And that's how he's going to treat a Yoruba man. And that's how he's going to treat a Yoruba man.
That's true.
So, and that principle is just what you applied. You decided not to give up. You decided to see light when there was darkness. You decided to believe in yourself. So you chose a period. That's what we call a waiting time is not a wasted time. You waited. You prepared yourself. You added value to yourself. That's why you can move from Okada man to a man flying helicopter. So this is the practical example we should let our people know. Do you understand me?
Yes,
so Emeka, you have spoken so great and you've told us all we want to hear. But we want to ask you a striking question. What is your advice to the young growing people in a very summarized manner? The young growing people who don't believe in hard work anymore. They want to cut short. They don't believe in apprenticeship. They don't believe in mentorship. They don't believe that they want to serve. They don't even respect people. I heard you mention that you are in sync with the operation manager. You are in sync. Some people will just have opportunity. They move them from Okada to helicopter and they raise their shoulder. They will not even know the operation manager again. They will not. So what's your advice to the young people who have chosen the wrong way?
Okay, the thing is, when you're growing, you look around you. The best way to learn is through observation. You have seen that Yahoo boy, right? Throwing money around. After a while, you can't find him again. That is to tell you that if you thought that same path, you will end up that way. So you ask yourself, what is the future to what you're doing? I remember when I was a bike man, I picked one lady because I read a lot of books. So maybe when I speak, she felt like this guy is enlightened. And she felt like, okay, I want to be friend to her. I want to befriend him. So she was a banker. She invited me. I went there. And she was cordial. She wanted to have a relationship with me. But I read in the scripture, do not fall in love with a woman because of her money, because you will become a slave to her. Immediately, I disconnected. Because the reason for that relationship is possibly because of her position. I didn't love her. So ask yourself, what is the repercussion of what you're doing? Because for every action, there is a repercussion. What is a repercussion to a guy who is defrauding people as his business? He will soon fall into trap of government. And there are two people you don't fight. You don't fight God, you don't fight government. So once you are against government, you know your career can end anytime. I remember when we were in secondary school, one of our friends began to live large. He began to, buy fine clothes, and suddenly we were like, what's happening? The next thing we saw is that him and his gang went to rob a bank. He was caught by soldiers. They shot him, he didn't enter. They had to tie his leg on the heels and drove. Did he survive? No. So once you are caught, you are gone. So don't get into things that will end your life by sudden. Because for anything and everything that you do is by your choice. You made up your mind to do it. And for everything you do, there are repercussions for it. So think about repercussion before you do anything. And if you think that way, your life will be different from others who are in haste. Because nobody who is in haste will be found faithful. Nobody who is in health is in haste will be found as somebody whose hands are clean. You may rush into diabolism. Suddenly you find that your life is in disarray. I remember watching a video where a guy said, the guy is doing well, living in a good house, but where he went, they told him, none of your relations should visit you. Any day your sister or any of your relations visit you, that will be the day you die. Can you see the misery? But the blessings of God has no sorrow to it. That is the difference. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Emeka, before we draw the curtain, yes, before we draw the curtain for the day, you have been so inspiring. You have already busted 1 hour here, So it's great sacrifice. And thank you. If you look at the board, you see 221 persons watching, for almost above 200 people watching you for 1 hour. So what I want to tell you is that, my brother, God is with you, and you have done well. And don't give up. We're going to partner with you. Just Chinedu Anichi TV is going to partner with you. All we want is sincerity, and you don't know the kind of people that are watching this TV. If you know, you know, you know. If you know, you know. Say, ever singer, the big ballers in town.
Yes, sir.
If you know, you know. So,
yes, sir.
what I'm trying to say is that we're going to partner with you as a social media expert, and all we need is straightforwardness, sincerity, transparency, of which I know you have. So, there's a very striking question I want you to summarize quickly.
Okay.
You're an evangelist, and the way the church is growing in Nigeria, I think it shows that the church is growing. People are building, what do you call it? What's that? I'm having a sound I didn't like. Okay, it's from your side. I've muted it. So, there is this growth of churches that is going on in Nigeria. You see, this church has done like what do you call it? This Paul Enenche Church, Dunamis. Each time I went to Abuja, then I've always looked at the dome, the kind of house this guy built, the kind of a building, and all those things. Church is expanding every day. New churches are coming up, new evangelists, new everything. But my brother, the suffering of Nigeria is increasing every day. And there are prophecies every day that it shall be well. So now, are we considering the church as a consolation for the hardship the country is passing through? Or really, the church and their prophecy is manifesting in the followers, in the Christians, in it? Because if you go to China, many of them don't believe in all what you believe. but their economy is moving. You go to India, the same thing. You go to some other countries that don't believe in anything, and you see things working out well. But our own, we are the highest paying people, and it's not translating, it's not manifesting in the lives of those who are always gathered in church. What could be the result? Ọ bụ na nwoke ka mara akpa isi ka ọ na-abụba dọrọ nkọ?
The principle of marketing. The thing is, the principle of marketing is that people will always patronize the person they see their goods. So if you have products and you don't put it at the face of the people, they are not going to patronize you. So, like Pareto formula said, what occupies 70% of your mind controls the remaining 30. So in Nigeria and Africa, the Christians, men of God, they invest in publicity, which is what Jesus preached. Go ye into the world and preach the gospel. So they invest massively in putting the message out there to attract, to be able to take over the people's minds. And people then tint towards that. But the other side of the coin is the side of the government. Just like in America, there is a working system where people have a livelihood. Just like I spoke about dream now. There are many people that when they look at themselves, they don't see the possibility of anything good coming out of them. They don't see the possibility of any dream becoming a reality. And because words inspire hope, they go to a place where they can be given hope. But government has a responsibility of creating an enabling environment for the people to thrive. Just like if you're doing a business, government provides some kind of grant to support you. But when you don't have that, it's only the other side of the divide that is working. Are you getting the point? So the church, the Christians are playing their part perfectly. And the church is growing. Everyone is listening to the word of God. If you go to radio, television, fantastic. And it's expanding to the glory of God. But the other side is empty. That is why poverty is everywhere. Because the church is like a hospital. And some are, some are getting, the medication is working on them, while some is not working. There are two aspects to Jesus: the message and the principles. So many people listen to the message, but the principles are universal. So the only people who get results are the people who follow the principles. The principles of hard work, the principles of creativity, the principles of, he said, write the vision and make it plain. So if you don't have a vision, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't have what you're working on, and you're going to church, the pastor can minister, the pastor can pray for you, but at the end of the day, you are on ground because God will have nothing to work with. He said, I will bless the work of your hand. So what are you doing? So if you're doing nothing, no matter what is pouring on you, if you've gone to school, maybe you don't know how to solve mathematics. They gave you the question. Now they begin to pour you oil. You must solve the mathematics. So yeah, I pray for you. You must pass this mathematics. At the end of the day, you can't solve it because you don't know how. So find something to apply. Don't ask what has God done for you? What has the word of God done for you? Ask what have you done with the word of God? Just like I told you, when I went to church, I didn't go there to fill seats. I went there to listen. And I can tell you, if I have time, that I have encountered practical power of God. And that's why I believe wherever I am, I know who I am, and I know what I'm convinced about. If you permit me, I'll just share one story, one experience about the practical word of God and how it works. So the thing is not like the rate of poverty in the country is a product of mismanagement of the resources of the people to empower them. That is a few selfish individuals have siphoned it, and people are now focusing. Their attention is now on men of God who have just limited resources to be able to sort as many members as they can. And at the end of the day, it can't go around because the government aspect are not playing their role. That's where the problem is. Everybody has responsibilities. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay, Meka. So if I conclude that the church, they are not doing the right thing, because since they know that the grace they transfer cannot work in vacuum, it cannot work in emptiness. There should be a substance of which grace could work on to begin to manifest positivity. So a lot of people in the church, a lot of pastors, a lot of men of God, they call people to themselves, knowing that this result will not come from them. They should be able to change and begin to refer people to where the problem will be solved. And where the problem will be solved is with the government. That's why situations will come in Nigeria and everybody will say, let us go and pray. Instead of saying, let us go and act, they are saying, let us go and pray. You see, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. So the church should be able to leave the marketing spirit or the merchandise they are doing with the Holy Spirit and tell the people that their problem is the government. The problem is not your sin. The problem is not somebody in your village. Because even people here in America and in Germany and other countries, they have villages.
That's true.
Okay? Obi Kubana has a village. Joe Wizaza has village. The Vido, Adelekes have village. Otadolas, they have village. If I can, you are from Ebony State. Dr. GOC, he has a village. Baby Oko has a village. Samuel and other people that are great. You know, they have villages like you. So people should tell all these people to stop referring people and start saying it is their village people. No, it is the government. Because if they say it's the government, people will not patronize them so much. So they continue to tell you that it is your village, it is your grandfather, it is your like this, it is your like this, so that the patronage will continue to exist. So why I told you this thing is because I know you have encountered the raw power of God. I know you are an evangelist. Instead of the whole world being in darkness, you can light a candle. You see how intelligent you presented what you said today. This is what we are expecting to hear from the church. Just like what Father Mbaka is doing today and tomorrow. Father Mbaka is holding a tech entrepreneurship summit for the young people. They are teaching them different things. He brought different people, brought different stars, brought different celebrities to come and teach and impact on the life of the young people in the room. All those adorers, all those adoration people. So because it is not the anointing oil that will make it work, let us be sincere. The anointing oil cannot make it work or not. There must be, if you don't have a value, just like if they put anointing oil on you, you cannot go and fly a helicopter in Chevron. That is the truth. There is a value you have. And before they moved you from where you were under people and 30 people were under you, there's something you acquired. You acquired something from Berlin. It's not the anointing oil. You didn't go and get anointing oil. I'm not denying the power of God. I'm not saying it's not possible for God to work. But God works on something. So, and let this Christianity we are practicing be able to tell the people the truth. The truth is that our problem is because we are not the value principle. The government is not providing for us something. And even ourselves, we have so much buried our minds in the miracles that we just want to go and hear it is where, even inside where. So without distracting you, because we will continue, you will still be here and we'll invite other people. So without distracting you, we'll be rounding up with your own face. We'll enter another face. No need bringing the TV down. We'll just invite them and we'll continue with the program. So what can you tell the world about Chinedu Anichi TV, and what do you think our African voice in diaspora is?
Okay, you know, I am so excited for meeting you because you are giving people a voice, and in this social media era, like as you know, or you may know, or you should know, you are only rated by two things: how much you have and how many people follow you. That's how you're rated in the world. So anyone who has the attention, the resources will go to. So everyone wants to be heard, but they don't have the platform to aid their view. We have people who are intelligent, who are enlightened, who can provide solution to the problems that we have, but they don't have a voice. And the voice is not this, like as I'm saying it now, like an echo. No, it's a platform that projects you to the hearing of the people. And that is what Chinedu Anichi TV has come. It's like a vacuum that he has come to fill. So I want you to go ahead, invite your friends, relations, to follow this page, because they will be learning, because it's an all-encompassing platform where different people from diverse experience, different fields of endeavor are brought together to share their experience. And while they are sharing it, you are learning practically, because through words go into your mind, straight into your mind, and from there it goes to your spirit, and from there it travels to your subconscious mind. Suddenly you find that your life has changed because your mind has been reversed. That is, there has been a kind of refinement on your mind. Once that happens, everything about you will begin to change. So I want to encourage you to keep watching, keep sharing, because your life will not remain the same. Thank you very much. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Thank you, Emeka, for coming. So we'll be moving into the second phase of what we're doing, and all I need is just to add two other speakers to you, and we'll be talking on the protests that they are preparing in Nigeria. You know, the young people, and I have different reactions from the chief of defense, or the guy in charge of the army, the defense. I think the public relations in defense. He has spoken already. I have it here. The IG of police said every organization that want to protest should register under them. A lot of things are going on. The president also has written an open letter to Nigerians to have patience. Wike has also reacted and said Abuja is not for the protest. So you know his own ways that Abuja, if they are doing those things, not in Abuja. So different approaches, and I want to hear from young people like you. What's their own opinion, and it's going to be a wonderful discussion. So I'm going to bring in some very important persons here. One of them is Jack. Jack is a guy who has dual citizenship. The mother is a French. The mother is a Nigerian. The father is a French. He speaks about 9 languages, including Swahili and all those things. A professional footballer and this thing. So based in France. I think Jack will come and join us now. I will send notification to Jack, and I will send the notification to Jack now. Mhm. Okay, so we'll wait for them a little bit. They will join, and but while we're waiting for them, we'll start discussing and let me see on our people's reaction. So let me go to uh, Bros. Let's send go the whole link. Mm. Yeah, I sent it both in your email and this. Depending if you want to use your laptop, it's okay. We're waiting already. Mm. Okay, sir. So we'll be expecting Roberta D. Williams, one of the young billionaires we have in Enugu State. So he'll be part of this show. And Jack the Money will soon join us. He was already here. Jack the Money. He was watching before, so but he just needed to come in. Mm. Jack, I'll send you the link. So we're waiting for you now. Follow. Yeah, follow the link here. All right. So let me change the topic in this place in Instagram. Let me change the topic. So, gentlemen, we had two programs today. One is we had Chasing the Dream, which was anchored by evangelist Eze Emeka of Emeka Eze Mentorship World. And he just rounded up so intelligently and so so amazing. Oh, shit. So this time you can see what we pinned down. Uncle Jeff, how are you doing? Jeff, how are you doing? Jeff, thank you for watching what I'm doing. So today we'll be discussing. We'll have many guests. We'll have Emeka Eze here. We'll have D. Williams. D. Williams is already here. D. Williams is already here. So CEO SPD Groups. How are you, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? Wow. Can you hear me?
You're welcome, sir.
So what's going on?
I can't hear you. I don't know if you're hearing me, but I can't hear you.
I'm hearing you, so check your earpiece. We can hear you. We can hear you very well.
I cannot hear you at all.
But we can hear you. We can hear you, and every other person is hearing me. Check your earpiece. Yeah, Jack.
Hello.
Yeah. How are you? How are you doing?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Check your speaker, sir. Because everybody is hearing me, and everybody is hearing me, and we're hearing you. Talk again, let's see. Okay, you are muted. You're muted now.
Is he unmuted already?
No, it's muted. So we hope to hear from everybody. Unmute, unmute. Unmute, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. We can hear you, but can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly now. I haven't been hearing anything absolutely before now.
Okay, because it was from your side, because everybody, all the people who are hearing ourselves except you.
Yeah, so, I wasn't hearing anything. But
yes.
I can hear very loud and clear now.
And we too, we can hear you now. Okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
Good evening. You're welcome.
Good evening, my people. I want to. Yeah, hello, my people. We are starting the second phase of this program, and today we'll be discussing on the safe protest that they want to carry out in Nigeria. Is it safe? Now that the Inspector General of Police said, if you are a group you want to protest, come and register. The army commander says, I want to tell you, Nigeria is not Kenya. So you cannot come and take over us like Kenya. So there are people speaking from different angles. So we decided to look for young people, very young people that things that has to do with Nigeria concerns. And we decided to look for Emeka Eze. Emeka Eze is here, or Emeka Eze of Mentorship World is here. And we are looking for our big brother also, Dr. Obeta David Williams. That is the CEO of SPD Group. It is this group that did the, let me just say, one outstanding thing in the world, that you know this Mayweather that fights boxing. It is his company that did all those boxing attire he used for the last competition, and many things about him. But I just want to bring that one to the limelight because a lot of things he has been doing, so we can't mention it all. But what we are saying is that SPD, CEO SPD Group is here, and we have Jack. Jack is on here. Jack has dual nationality. The mother is from Imo State, Nigeria. The father is from France. He's a footballer, a known footballer in France and within the UK, and he's here. And anything that has to do with youth of Nigeria concerns him. So we are all complete this evening to interact on the issue of the protest. For those of you who are listening to us on Instagram, those of you on YouTube and wherever you are, men on suits and ties, Agui, how are you doing? We are ready. Yeah, you're ready. If you're ready, I am ready. We're going to talk about the protest. Those of you who are ready, I'll not tell you people what I read that Tunde did not posted. But let me bring our people up here, for God's sake. Yep. So please, Emeka Eze, let's introduce ourselves. Starting from you who is up, Emeka Eze, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, my name is Emeka Eze, and like I said before now, that I have passion for inspiring young people to chase their dream, because I believe that it is possible if they can pay the price that is required to make it happen. So I am, by God's grace, the CEO of Emeka Eze Mentorship World, where I practically put this dream to work by helping other young people to make their own dream become a reality too. Thank you very much, and I want to welcome every one of you on the panel. Thank you.
Okay. So this way we'll go to Jack. Jack, please introduce yourself.
All right, yeah, good evening, everyone, once more. My name is Mr. Jack, that's my English name. My French name is Mr. Jean-Francois Mehdi. I'm a French Nigerian, ex-professional footballer, a coach, and I'm into sport, most things entertaining. Um, like uh, like our doctor said, uh, I also love, inspiring young youth, pushing them, chasing their dreams because I was once in their shoes and I actually achieved my dream by not giving up. And I believe if you want to make it in life, you should always fight for yourself, for your right, and always believe in yourself mostly, and never give up on your dream, no matter the situation or the circumstances you find yourself. So I also, own a football academy, which I'm actually working on in Nigeria presently. I'm trying to partner with a lot of companies, football clubs, both home and abroad, to see how we could actually virus them over here. And we thank God for everything, and we've been pushing, but it hasn't been easy. But hopefully, we're gonna get there. So nice having you guys around. Thank you.
Yeah, finally, we are with the young person. I don't want to talk too much about him, but he will introduce himself. He has been on the way. This is one of the persons that sponsored this particular. Emeka, I told you about somebody who came to my show and moved that day he came. My Facebook was on 24,000 followers, and the next time, before he left, it was 30,000. From there, the next some few hours after that, I got to 32,000, and it's still growing. Now, about 8,000. I got 8,000 followers the last time he came to my show. So, so I just want you to have an idea of the man we're having.
Thank you
So,
very much.
now let me go to him to introduce himself to our listeners. SPD, over to you.
Yeah, it's 9:50 p.m. from here. So good evening from this end. I am Dr. David Williams, watching CEO, SBD Group of Companies. I am here to talk about the issues bothering our country, our dear country, Nigeria, the upcoming protests, and other things, that is bothering our country, Nigeria. I am hopeful that our conversation tonight is going to at least bear positive fruits, God willing.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, SPD. Yeah, thank you, thank you. So now, I want to assure you of there's a lot of things going on the software, but the issue is this: we are being heard, and we have chosen the topic, and it's a very good topic. And before you know it, we'll put other people. So today we'll be talking about the protest. I want to start with I want to start with you, Emeka. This protest they are talking about in Nigeria that the young people have recently come for. Is it relevant? Is it really relevant? Does it really matter for you?
Okay, when it comes to protest, I think it's a product of the people, the masses, coming together to aid their displeasure over the government. That means there has been series of the people trying to communicate their grievances, their challenges to the government, but they don't seem to hear. So it's like being pushed to the world, and the people say, okay, let's come out en mass so that we'll be able to get their attention. But judging from what is happening because of the situation in the country, is obvious that the people are tired. There is hunger and starvation. People are going through a lot of things. And that's why, personally, I think it's necessary so that the government in place can listen, because it comes with a pressure it comes with a pressure that is released upon the power that makes them want to respond, that makes them want to, okay, what is the problem now? So they want to gain the center stage, and the government will listen to them. So I think is necessary, but how they go about it is what matters. Because over the years, we have seen that during protests, a lot of young people go into people's shop to loot. They destroy a lot of properties. That after that, some people, have to start afresh. Vehicle properties of people are burnt down. All of those is not what we are looking out for. What we are looking out for is peaceful protests, where people come out en masse and let the government know what they are going through, and the government will listen to them. So that's my take on that. Thank you very much.
Wow. So Jack, what do you think? Jack, your own is special. Your mother is from Nigeria, but because you are Nigeria, original Nigeria, you speak Igbo, you eat Gary, you speak 9 languages in the world. The last time I went through your YouTube when I was researching about you, I discovered that you speak almost 9 languages. So, and one of them is Igbo. So that means you are a real Nigerian. So you are feeling what we are feeling. So that's why that your father come from France. So what's your take about this? What our people are planning?
Yeah, actually, no, first of all, that is what we call human rights, you understand? And I believe every citizen out there has the right to, come out and express their feelings in any way they feel that should be expressed to the government. Uh, but the only thing I'm scared of, like what our brother said, we shouldn't be violent. That's just my problem. I support Nigerian youth 100% coming out to protest because I believe in the Nigerian Constitution and the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law actually stated that you have the right to protest, but it should be peacefully. The only thing I'm going to advise the Nigerian youth and whoever is going to support is that they should please go out there and respect themselves and not destroy human properties or make it violent, whereby at the end of the day, what happened actually in the year 2020 should repeat itself. Because if it actually should repeat itself, that means no one is actually safe. Like you said, I'm half Nigerian, yes. Definitely, I would love to come back to Nigeria someday. Okay, I would love to come see my people, still have a good time, have fun, still work with the youth over there. But if it happens that Nigerian people, putting years in people, even the full Nigerians who are fully Nigerians, who are actually outside of Nigeria, will be scared of coming back home. They're not talking of me, who is actually a mixed race. Because my own case is more complicated because they could actually think I'm not a Nigerian and I could actually get killed or get kidnapped. So I fully support the youth coming out to do what they're doing, but they should please go out there, do it respectfully, maturely, and make it calm, nicely. Speak your mind. Speak for the youth. Speak for the unborn children. Speak for the upcoming generation. There are so many things that are actually happening. I don't support the people getting hungry because even in abroad, even though you don't have nothing, at least your stomach needs to be filled. Because if you don't put food in your stomach, definitely that is the beginning of death. Because when you start starving yourself, that is when your death is actually near. Because I don't believe that someone is going to die at the age of 100 or 150. You can die at any time. Understand? So, all I just have to say is Nigerians to take it easy on themselves, do whatever I want to do, but do not make it violent, do not make it harmful, do not kill anyone, do not fight, do not destroy people's property, because there are millions of people out there who have suffered and who have actually invested their hard-earned money. Both those who came back from abroad and finally, decided to stay in Nigeria with their hard-earned money to open businesses. So do your thing, but let it be nice, respectfully, maturely, and not violently. I don't support violence, but I support the protest 100%. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the main host today, and today we want him to talk about the protest because Elisha is the one who initiated the talk today, so he's a co-host with me, while both of you are guests. So, he's saying he wants to really reflect over it. So, Dr. Obeta, so what can you say?
Yeah, first of all, I would start by saying that I never knew that protesters are more dangerous and deadly than the bandits that have been killing and that has turned the country upside down for way too long. I mean, it is quite funny how the whole government, government officials and the whole
Agencies.
government setup, I should say, has been thrown into confusion, in the past few days over this protest. And in fact, I saw recently this evening where the IG of police, if I'm not mistaken, was talking about groups submitting their names, the groups that wants to involve in the protest submitting their names. I am disappointed that Nigerians are yet to submit the names that was demanded, from them to be submitted, because uh, we have a lot of names in that group, which includes inflation, group hunger, group suffering, group starvation, group insecurity. I mean, we have a lot of groups that is up for this protest. I am
Emeka,
very
Emeka, why are
disappointed
you laughing? Emeka, this is not a laughing matter. This life is just coming from. Please go on,
I
sir.
mean, it is quite funny. It is quite funny that if you looking at the responsiveness of these people, to the planned protest, this is to show you very clearly that these people know, they know exactly what they are doing. These people know exactly what they are doing. Now, one of the police top men talked about deploying over 4,200 policemen to Abuja. Now, my question is this: where have all these policemen been all this while? That kidnappers, has been infiltrating the Nigerian roads, kidnapping people day and night. Where have all these policemen, where have all these soldiers been all this while that they have not been able, to neutralize the insecurity in this country? This is to tell you that there is more to insecurity to just the word insecurity. There is more to insecurity than what we are seeing, than what is the government is making us to understand that the insecurity is all about. I had to make a very thorough research about the insecurity situation of the country, recently, and I got to find out that the World Bank releases some billions of dollars, to Nigeria to tackle insecurity on a monthly basis. And then you would get to realize that, considering the amount of money that is being released on a monthly basis to fight insecurity, there is no way insecurity can end. Because when insecurity ends, this money stops coming in. And this is to tell you that the insecurity is being sponsored by the top officials, so as to be able to be getting these peanuts. In fact, I wouldn't call it peanuts, because these are billions of dollars from the World Bank. You see, so now they are out to tackle the entire Nigerian race, to tackle the entire Nigerian population, which is over 200 million, as at judging from the last census that was conducted over 2 decades ago. Now, if Nigerian military parastatals has the capacity, to tackle over 200 million Nigerians, what then is holding them from tackling the insecurity, which is the major problem that has been holding this country for way too long? This is to show you that they are, they are playing blind to the security issues of this country, because they are benefiting directly from the insecurity of Nigeria. Watch what is going to happen during the days of this protest. You are going to see that the whole streets of Nigeria is going to be saturated with security parastatals. And that is going to give us a clear answer to the question we have been asking all this while. can insecurity in Nigeria not be handled by our security personnel?
Yeah, that's great. Emeka, you heard Dr. Williams, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want this something. I don't want him alone to do it as if he has come to deliver a lecture on this matter. I want it to be interactive. We want it to be, freely interactive. You can excuse one another as far as there is respect, mutual way of contributing. That's the way we want it to be. So if he says something like he has just explained about insecurity, first of all, he started. It looks funny, but it encapsulates seriousness when he was talking about groups that should register. Because there should be existing groups of Hunger Association of Nigeria,
Exactly.
Insecurity Association of Nigeria. All
Great.
those people, as they are all groups, and they should go forward to register those groups with the Nigerian police, because that is the people that are coming to protest. Because the people that are coming to protest are the members of Hungers Association, members of Insecurity Association, and all these people. So if they say register your group, just come on, go and register those groups, because
Exactly
that
what
is
I
the
expected
reason.
him to do.
That's the kind of people that are coming to protest. So Emeka, what's your reaction about what Dr. Williams just said?
Okay, the thing is, it's obvious when I think about what is going on, I'm thinking that the people, the economists, the professors that are supposed to provide solution to the economic problems of Nigeria are inactive, because inflation keeps going up and there is no strategy to curtail it. People cannot afford the basic things of life. And when it gets to that level, people, it's like survival. How to be just alive. That is a problem. So government officials telling the people to go and submit, maybe as a group, you send a delegate to go and submit, okay, we will be protesting, so that those people will be held accountable, I think is insensitive. It's like, um, trying to solve a problem using how do I put it, like
Using pepper to cure eye problem.
adding salt to injury. You see,
Yes.
so they are not coming out to take responsibility. We know this situation. We are sorry about this. We are going to do something about it. I remember one of the politicians during campaign said the responsibility of government is to give the people hope, and the hope that can be visible. People can look at and say, okay, they are doing something about this. They are curtailing the price of goods in the market. They are trying to solve the problem. If they are not making any move, what do they expect the people to do? How are they, okay? Talking about because I'm also very careful talking about the number, the number of Nigerians, over 200 million people. How are you going to control them? So I think what they should be talking about now is profiling solution to the problem, not looking for minor ways to solve it. That won't prevent the people from coming out. And one basic thing about this whole thing is the escalations. Nigerians, when they get into something, they always go the extra mile. So you can't really tell where and when this thing is going to end. And they have heard about this thing. They have been given notice. What have been done about it? What have they said? And in terms of providing solution to the problem of hunger, problem of insecurity, and other problems in the country. So I think that is the area that they should be looking at right now, so that the youth they can look and say, okay, they are doing something about this. They can begin to rethink. You get my point? So that's my take on that.
You get the point now. Yes. Jack, do you have anything to say?
You know, I don't have much to say, but the little I could actually contribute is this: is that concerning what the commissioner said, okay, to be honest, uh, give information of any group. I know Nigerians. First of all, Nigerians have this mentality that they're not even safe by their own government. They're not safe. And they still have this mentality that the government, the police efforts does not even protect its own citizens. Okay, for example, I saw a video a few seconds ago, a few minutes ago. Someone came in, instead of you to tell the person that you're welcome to Nigeria, no problem, we have to protect you. The police was actually telling the person that don't worry, by the grace of God, you're protected. That means to tell you that they're not even sure of protecting a foreigner, not even talking of protecting his own citizen. So, there is a saying that charity begins at home. You cannot say you can protect a foreigner when you have not even protected your own. So Nigeria as of today, the youth as of today are people who are really, really stubborn. I've lived with them so much. I've worked with them. They are people that they easily accept. Like they have this strong coconut head. Like before you can crack a Nigerian, especially this new generation, it's going to be hard. Like you need to be strong physically, spiritually, psychologically, in every angle of your life. These people are hard crap. They're this kind of a knot that before you break them, you must give them strong reasons and strong. I don't know how to put it, but you have to be in the same level with them. So for the Nigerian police, okay, to make these youths believe that whatever they are saying that they are saying, for me, I would say the Nigerian effort to come out and give us more reasonable reasons and more ideas and tell us why we should commit. Because first of all, imagine in a small village. Do you know how many local governments that only my mother's village have? And let's say, for example, in Imo State, 300 youth supposed to come up and shout and speak for the freedom and because of the strike of hunger and whatever, blah blah blah. Imagine these 300 youths. How many local governments are talking about from? You understand? Nigeria is a very big country. Nigeria is like a continent of its own. Nigeria, my country is just only Lagos. France is only Lagos alone. So imagine you're telling over 200 million, or if I'm not mistaken, Nigeria is even up to a billion. You understand? To come and register. Even the Nigerian Air Force, they are going to get tired of registering in one day. It's going to take, for example, let's say 6 months to register 500 groups. They don't behave like the Europeans. They will not do that. They're not going to say, well, we're ready to stay in the police station and start asking everybody. Some people, their names are very long, first of all. You want to register one person. Some people have their people's name, their father's name, their grandmother's name in one passport. So there are so many things that Nigeria needs to fix. So for me, what I would say is the Nigerian Air Force shouldn't put more fear or pressure on the youth. What I would say is they should come out, support the youth, protect them, but the youth on the other side should respect themselves and do not make effort to misbehave, because I trust the Nigerian police. Immediately they have the order, they don't waste time, they shoot. Because Nigerian police are very good in that. So I rest my case. Thank you.
Okay, we're back to the co-host. And you continue. I just wanted these people to react to what you, first of all, the punchline you brought out. So let's hear from you, Doc.
Okay. Um, I started with a question and I'm going to continue with yet another question. And my question is this: why are they so much afraid of the upcoming protest? We should not forget, or rather, the president, Tinubu, should not forget that he is the father of all protests. He is the one that taught us what we are about to do. He is the one that taught the Nigerian youths what they are about to embark on. He should not forget the role he played during 2013, 2014, 2015, and even 2012 season, when he was protesting terribly against Goodluck Jonathan. I could remember very clearly when fuel went up from 75 naira to 150 naira. Now the fuel has gone up from 150 naira to almost 800 naira, and he is crying foul. Now the president, who masterminded series of protests, and this protest, was never in any way challenged then days. The protesters were never threatened by Jonathan or by any security official or agency then. I don't know if the president has a very short memory, but I think it has become obvious that the president has a very, very short memory and must have forgotten that he is the father of all protests. Now, moving forward, if the government officials would have put in the energy they had, unleashed within these past few days as a result of this protest, if they had put in this energy, if they had put in this energy into trying to fix the bedroot of the problem we are facing in this country, believe you me, they would have solved the problem. Now, since the president, fought his way into the government house, I can't remember how many times he had addressed the nation as a president. But look what has happened just within the past few days. The government, the president already has addressed the nation. The FCT minister and other ministers that we never even knew, were in existence, came out to speak. So the question is this: so you people can speak all this while, and you had refused vehemently to address the nation, since the nation, was bleeding, since the citizens of the nation, were passing through rigorous, situations, sufferings, starvation, hardship, caused by inflation and what have you. Minimum wage raised from 30,000 to 70,000, which is still less than below a dollar. 70,000 naira is still below $1, right? It's still below $1, if I'm not wrong. I think, is it? Am I right? Below $100. Sorry,
Is
still
below
below
is
$100.
below is below 50 cents.
$100. Eh?
It's below 50 cents. It's not even $1 because $1 is almost 1,600.
1,000. Yeah, is below $100, right?
It's
Now,
below is even below half a dollar,
imagine,
which is
you can
50 cents.
imagine. And now
Mhm.
this is the minimum wage of Nigeria. So which is to say an average Nigerian should be able to survive with below 100
$100.
dollars for a whole month, for one full month. Do not forget that Nigeria pays in months, not in
$50.
weeks, not in hour, not in days. They pay in months. Unlike some countries that pay hourly basis, daily basis, weekly basis, and what have you. Nigeria pays per month. So this is to tell you that an average Nigerian earns less than $100 in a month. Do not forget, a fuel, I mean, a liter of fuel is 800 naira currently. A liter of diesel is 1,700 currently. The last time I got diesel is 1,700 currently. Now the question is this: a person who is operating a business, a person who goes to work by virtue of transportation, or has a vehicle that he fuels, to go to work and back. What is his fate? You can imagine earning 70,000 naira as your basic salary. You would have to eat, you would have to pay rent. Now, You can imagine someone who earns that amount and has about 4 or 5 kids in school. How is the person going to survive? How is the person going to feed? How is the person going to pay the school fees of his children? Now, these are the issues that is bothering Nigerians, and this is the reason why Nigerians want to protest. The presidency, the government officials are not talking about these things. The only thing they are talking about is that the protest should not hold. The only thing they are talking about is how to sabotage the protest. They are not concerned about the reason for the protest. They are not concerned about why the citizens want to protest. And this is the more reason why the citizens must protest. Because it has become very obvious, it has become crystal clear that these people do not they don't care about our well-being. They don't care about our welfare. They don't care if the country is burning. They don't care if the country is drowning. They only care about their pockets. Look very closely, you would see that more than 70% of the government officials, they have fled Nigeria to different countries. Go closely and check it. You will see that most of the interviews being granted are being done from outside Nigeria. So this is to tell you that they have left Nigeria to burn. The House of Assembly few days ago went on break. The Senate themselves, if I'm not mistaken, already gone on break. And so as other government officials, they have already imposed breaks on themselves. So now, most of these government officials, they have already left the country to their safe zone, to their comfort zone, leaving the country to burn. Is this not a clear indication that we are being ruled by animals in human form, that we are being ruled by I don't even know how to categorize these people, because there is, in fact, calling them an animal is even making them look good, because animals can be good to some extent. I have a pussycat, that is very loving and kind. If my pussycat is in the position to rule this country, is going to do a much better job than the human beings that are pioneering the affairs of this country. This is to tell you that these people are worse than animals. They are worse than these guys are villains, if I should say. So the earlier we the citizens unite in one voice, the earlier we unite in one accord, to carry out this protest and make sure that this protest is carried out peacefully, the better. Let us not forget what happened in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was going through, a similar situation of which Nigeria is passing through right now. But the citizens of Sri Lanka, the masses of Sri Lanka, raised up themselves and took upon the government house and ejected physically their ex-president, President Gotabaya Rajah. And today, Sri Lanka is enjoying the dividend of that single act of theirs. Sri Lankan masses woke up one day and decided that enough was enough. They decided that it was time to take the power by themselves. Remember that it is government of the people, by the people, for the people. And it is because that we Nigerian youths, we Nigerian people are cowards. And this is the reason why we have not decided yet that we must take the bull by the horn by ourselves. The earlier we understand that the voting system is never going to liberate us from the calamity that we have found ourselves inside today, the better. It is never going to liberate us, because know how, regardless how we try to vote right, these people are going to find their way into power. And whoever we vote, whoever we think is the right person to take us to the promised land, they are going to make sure that that person doesn't smell that seat. And it is evident, judging from the last presidential election. We all saw what happened. We also how the election was hijacked. We also how receipts of different, receipts were uploaded as electoral sheets, You know, you see pictures of people being uploaded as electoral sheets. You see different pictures of houses being uploaded, you know, to the electoral, to the INEC site, Beaver, whatever, as the electoral sheets. So you can imagine, if you go to Rivers State and conduct a thorough investigation on the election that was carried out in Rivers, you would find out that more than 80% of what was uploaded on the site of the River State Beavers, or whatever they call it, was mere pictures. And this leaves us with the question: where did they get the numbers they related to us, the citizens, as the numbers they got, you know, after the election in River State? So also other parts of the country, like Imo State, like Lagos, like Ekiti State, and a host of other states, you know, that came up with fabricated numbers. Now, there is no way we can achieve liberation if we don't act ourselves, if the citizens don't wake up themselves and act themselves. Because number one, the electoral system is being controlled by them. Number two, they have the power. Number three, they have the money. You cannot fight someone with gun, you know, on or with bare hands. I mean, it is not possible. Going to a gunfight with a knife or with bare hands, you are definitely going to lose. And this is exactly the position the citizens are, you know, while facing these people in power. So the earlier we understand, the earlier we realize that the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and only the violent one taketh it by force, the better. The earlier we realize that this power belongs to us, and we decide who is going to hold that power, we decide who is going to be at the helm of affairs, the better. The earlier we understand that it is time to set aside the fears of losing our life and embrace the foreseen dividend that comes with losing our lives after this protest, the better. Now, the question is this: what happens after this protest? What happens after this protest? Are we going to come up with something positive, or are we going to remain the coward that we have been all this while? I mean, it is better we embrace the situation on ground. It is better we understand that the situation on ground can only be tackled by the virtue of protests. It is better we understand that this is the only option we have. It is better we understand that the election is no longer an option for us, and the protest is the only option we are left with, the better. Because from their body language, you would understand that they know that we are beginning to realize that we have the power to eject and remove them from that's a position that they are in, either by virtue of election, by virtue of protest, or by virtue of violence.
Yeah, Doc, within the confine of the law, I think there is a provision for people to demonstrate,
Of course,
but the issue now is the guarantee.
the guarantee that it is going to be peaceful,
So
right?
peaceful, yes, because sometimes we lack orientation. We lack orientation because what I experienced in Enugu, I was uh, I was in the government in Enugu during the EndSARS. Yeah. The
Mm.
EndSARS, the first day, the second day, the third day within the southeast was very peaceful. But the fourth day, some people hijacked it. You understand? Some people came out to do another thing different. The first day during the EndSARS, people were sharing money. Even if your phone falls down, they will pick it for you. Nobody will do it. And people were even going to buy food and bring to people. People have different people were doing different things. It was like fun. All the musicians came out, everybody, you know. But the fourth day, some people came in and started another different thing. So, what is the guarantee? It's not about the speeches, it's not about what we want, it's not about every Nigerian knows what we want.
Yeah.
Any Nigerian that is sincere knows what Nigeria wants or what Nigeria needs. So, but the guarantee that this protest is going to work in consonance with the criteria or with the condition that makes it legal is why some of us are skeptical about it. What do you think about that?
Okay. Let me start by making reference to the answers which you brought up. Let us not forget that the answers was going very smoothly before it got hijacked, and the hijackers were, from all indication, were sponsored by those in government. From all indication, so this is to say that if there is anything that is to go wrong in the upcoming protests that is being planned ahead of time, we all know those who are to be held responsible, and they are those in government. They are those that has been wailing all these while since this protest issue came up. There are those that that has been granting interviews left and right, threatening the citizens left and right. Telling the citizens that if they come out to protest, that they are going to do this, they are going to do that. The whole threats. These are the people that should be held responsible if anything goes wrong, because I have never seen any country, I have never seen any society, I have never seen any nation that tags protests a bad name as Nigeria is currently tagging it. Protest is a civic right of the masses, is a civic right of the civilians of a state. And we Nigerians, we have every right to protest when we feel that the government is doing something that is not right. When you look at countries like Rwanda, I was in Rwanda 2 years ago. In fact, I did my 28th birthday in Rwanda, in Kigali. And I was fortunate enough to be in Rwanda. That was March 27th, 2020, 2022. March 27th, 2022, I was in Rwanda, I was in Kigali. And it happened that I arrived Kigali during the 7 days demonstration of the Rwandans, showing solidarity support to the president, showing support to the president that has done them so well, Paul Kagame. Paul Kagame. So now this is a president that has done so well for his country, and the citizens came out in mass to protest. I should call it. It is a protest to thank him. It is a demonstration to say thank you. So if the government is doing well, if Tinubu and his backroom staffs are doing well, what is about to happen on Monday would have still happened, but it would have been a demonstration of solidarity to the government, a demonstration of thanksgiving to the government. Nigerians, the blacks, the Africans, we are one very grateful race that God created. In fact, I have never seen a race, a people, a color so grateful as the blacks. We are very, very appreciative. And this is the reason why you see a governor doing what is supposed to be our rights. What the governor doing what we know that this is what he is supposed to do. This is his job. And you would see people thanking him. You know, you see a governor fixing a road, and you see, you know, people saying, thank you for fixing this road. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving us water. Thank you for giving us light. Perhaps this is his job. This is what he is supposed to do. This is what he is mandated. This is what he is obliged to do. This is what he was sent there to do. And there should be absolutely, ordinarily, no thanksgiving for him doing what he is supposed to do. But you see us, you see with the citizens thanking them for doing it. This is to show you how appreciative the blacks are. This is to show you how appreciative Nigerians are. This is to show you how appreciative Africans are. So if the government is doing well, believe me, Nigerians would be on the streets to say thank you to Tinubu. Nigerians would be on the streets to say thank you to the Minister of Petroleum. Thank you to the Minister of Defense. Thank you to the IGP of Police for giving us security. Thank you to the Major Generals for providing maximum security to Nigerians. Thank you for giving us constant electricity. Thank you for giving us jobs. Thank you for giving us another chance to live. Thank you for giving us a favorable environment to invest. Go to Rwanda. Go to Rwanda. I was in Rwanda and I wept. I knew immediately that Nigeria was being ruled by a bunch of criminals that found themselves in power and had the opportunity to milk this country dry. You see, it is very, very evident. I mean, the evidence is clear. You see them, immediately after their tenure, and maybe they did not go back to office, they vacate the country immediately. Check the past governors, check the past senators, check the past ministers, and see where they are. Very few of them are still in the country. Over 80 to 90% of them are all scattered in different countries, Puerto Rico, US, UK, Ireland, and what have you. And the question is, what is pursuing them from this country? This country that that was entrusted into their hands to fix, and they could not do anything but loot the the resources of the common Nigerians. You see, so this protest is going to be the big. When the answers happened, we told them very clearly that the next one coming is going to be more dangerous than the answers. And I see what is about to happen in Nigeria as the beginning of revolution in this country, as the beginning of the good things to come in this country, as the beginning of the end of anarchy in this country. And I believe that the spirit of cowardice is not going to engulf us, in the coming days. I believe that we are not going to be scared. We are not going to, become scared by their threats. We are not going to allow their threats get to us. We only die once. They say one thing must kill a man, and whatever it is that kills us, we should be taken as our fate. If this protest is going to wipe out the entire Nigerians, I think it is better that we all die. Let them rule over themselves. When they kill everybody, and the country is left empty for them to rule themselves, I believe it will be better for them. At least the whole world would know that yes, we have been killed by those that we entrusted power into their hands. I rest my case.
Yes, that's great, Doc. I think the fears, just like I told you, it's not about the relevance or the constitutional backup of protesting.
Yeah.
The problem and the fears is our own people, our value system. Look at it from this dimension, Doc. You categorically stated that some people were bought over to come and hijack the NSAS protest. These people are Nigerians. These people are youths. These people are young people. Do you understand? And the
So
same young people we are bought to come and hijack what young people are doing. So how are you sure that as we're talking now, that some other young people are not ready to hijack the same system?
This is the reason
That is
why
the
I
fears.
yeah, this is the reason why I talked about um having one voice, oneness, and unity. Yes, definitely, the bad eggs are definitely going to arise. In every 12, there must be a Judas. And in fact, most times, the Judas seem not to be only one. These days, in every 12, there must be six, seven, eight Judas. You understand? So, I believe that if we are able to build a resistance on that day, right? Regardless their number, they cannot outnumber some of us that would come out with clean mind, with common goal of passing our message not just to the government of Nigeria but to the world at large. Not just to the government of Nigeria but to the Chinese, to the World Bank that has been releasing money to these people, thinking that they are doing they are using the money for the purpose of which the money was borrowed for. You see, especially in the case of security, the World Bank should be made to know by our protests that the money that they are giving the Nigerian military for insecurity is not being used for insecurity. Rather, they are channeling this money into their different personal pockets. They are channeling this money they are privatizing the billions of dollars that is being released on a monthly basis, to checkmate the insecurity in Nigeria. The World Bank, the Chinese, and the Russians and other people funding the Nigerian affairs must be made to be on the know the current situation of this country, and they should be made to be on the know that this money that they have been releasing to these hoodlums in government are not being used and should be stopped. We are all in debt. We are all in debt. If care is not taken, we might be recolonized by China and by some other countries that Nigeria is owing if we are not very careful. Just last month, Tinubu signed another a loan of over 2.8 trillion naira. 2.8 trillion naira loan. We are not talking about the ones that this is it is just barely a year and 3 months since he entered into office, and this young man has already borrowed almost 15 trillion naira. And the question is, what is this money being used for? Now, this is the money that was just borrowed. We are not talking about the what do they call it again, the grants, right? The security grants that were given by the World Bank. And this security grants comes on a monthly basis. Do not forget, it comes on a monthly basis to tackle insecurity. Where is all this money going to? What has all this money been used for? And then these people that are borrowing us money, are they not asking, are they not seeking for accountability? Do they just borrow money and just give money like that? I was thinking, when you borrow people money, you at least you try to follow up and make sure that the money you are borrowing them is being used for the purpose at which that money was borrowed for. Now, the train line that is being currently being built from is it from Lagos to Akwa Ibom, if I'm not mistaken, was or rather is to cost about 200 and something billion dollars. And now, during this when this was being debated, I had to make some few research, and I found out that there is this a rail way that was built from Ethiopia to Algeria, and it ran through Ethiopia, Algeria, and I think that rail connected about 10 African countries. And the amount used to build that rail was not even up to 40% of the amount that is to be used to build the rail that is going to run through Lagos to Akwa Ibom. If you check the distance, you would find out that the distance of Lagos to Akwa Ibom is not up to 20% of the distance that this rail I'm talking about covered. And the money that was used to do this rail I'm talking about is just about 15% of the money that Nigeria borrowed to do the rail that is just going to cover from the Lagos to Akwa Ibom. And this is to show you that it is a clear fraud. It is a clear fraud. And then the people that is borrowing this money did not even say, okay, well, let us go and check and know what these people want to use this money for. Okay, they said it is for rail. What is the distance of this rail? Okay, they want to borrow so and so amount of money. Let us make sure that they put this money into the areas that they want to, that they propose that they are making use of this money for. They just give us, I mean, these are the things that needs to be tackled in this protest. This money that is being released to Nigeria should stop. We have a lot of resources. Ordinarily, Nigeria don't need to borrow money. We have a lot of resources. The gold is there in Zamfara. We have lithium. We have coal. Agriculture. What's happened to our agriculture? The agriculture is there. Agriculture alone can take care of our financial problems in this country. Agriculture alone can take care of our financial problem in this country. We have a lot of mineral resources that can ordinarily solve our financial problem. But look at what is happening. Everybody has now channeled his or her pipe and hose to the oil, trying to milk this country dry. We have 4 refineries in this country, and not even one is functional. Now, Dangote came up, with his own refinery, putting billions of dollars to make it happen, and they are still trying to frustrate the young man. You see, so these are the things that we need to tackle in this protest. These are the things that we need to tackle in this protest. If you feel that you cannot handle the affairs of this country, please step down and allow those who can handle the affairs of Nigeria step in and handle the affairs of this country. We have a lot of capable hands. We have a lot of competent people out there that can handle the affairs of this country, rather than leaving this country for people with questionable characters, rather than leaving this country to people with questionable certificates, people that do not have classmates, people that do not have even, I mean, it is appalling, it is disheartening. It is disheartening to say the least. I rest my case.
Yeah, my brother. I think it's so painful, and I think I agree with you that it's so painful. But what we are saying is um, how we can realize what we're doing. I want to tell you the truth. The email, um, the request from the IGP that groups should register, and they are the first guy that came on channels. I'm going to post it after this discussion. So on channels to say that what happened in Kenya, they cannot allow it to happen here. It shows the attitude they want to already assume against this protest. So my
Sorry for cutting you. If they don't want what happened in Kenya to happen in Nigeria, they should try as much as possible for the sufferings in Kenya not to replicate itself in Nigeria. They should try as much as possible for the insecurity in Kenya, for it not to replicate itself in Nigeria. We cannot have a duplicate of everything happening in Kenya here in Nigeria, and you expect what happened in Kenya to not happen in Nigeria. I mean, the whole thing happening in Kenya is happening much more in Nigeria. The insecurity in Nigeria is much, much, much more than the insecurity in Kenya. The inflation in Nigeria is much more than the inflation in Kenya. Whatever Kenya is suffering, Nigeria is suffering more in multiple times. Whatever the Kenyans are passing through, Nigerians are passing through much more in multiple times. So if they don't want what happened in Kenya for it not to happen in Nigeria, they should first of all try and fix what happened in Kenya in Nigeria here, which are insecurity, which are inflation, rise in in fuel pump price, and other things that is bothering our affairs here in Nigeria. They should try and make Nigeria the Nigeria society favorable for business. You see, they should try and provide employment for the youths. Let them do all these things, and they would see us singing to their names in the streets tomorrow.
Wow, that's great. So thank you for coming. What's your own general advice to the young people? Because the problem now is with us. The
Yeah,
problem is not even with the police. The problem is not with the army. The problem is with us. Because if we can be peaceful and if we cannot betray one another, because as I'm telling you now, it will be so disheartening for you to discover. I don't want to drag anybody. There's something I saw. I wanted to post it, but just because of the kind of person I am and what I represent in the social media, I don't like dragging. I don't like all this kind of concept. There is a big blogger, a big platform in Nigeria that posted. I saw what he posted. He said, "Why you people um why you people are protesting? I will be posting women yash. That's a African best African woman for you." And people were saying, "What kind of post is this?" So you will now begin to see that some of us have that we don't take serious what's happening to us. Maybe some of us are privileged, like those of us who are abroad. You just feel that because you're abroad, everything is okay. There's no place like home.
true.
There is
Absolutely.
no place like home.
Absolutely, there is none. Absolutely.
You know, some people will say, when the dollar goes up, those of us in US will be so happy that dollar. But the truth is this: there's a project I'm doing at home now. Let me tell you, in last year, around around November, they gave me the quotation they gave me and the amount. I'm surprised I didn't do it that time. Something came up. I didn't do it because I was doing my own doing a project here. So now that I'm done here, I want to go and finish that project. I requested for the same proposal. My brother, it was times three of what I was given in November.
True.
So when you say that dollar is increasing, those in US should, it's just the same thing. What can make those in US to be happy if dollar is increasing is only if naira is valuable and can purchase things of value.
Yeah,
As long as it does not have value, it does not have meaning.
absolutely. It
Because
doesn't.
if you get $1,000, which is approximately let me just say 1.5 million. Okay, what $1,000 used to solve before? Do you understand?
Yeah,
$1,000 cannot solve it now.
it can't. It
So
can't.
when a dollar was 600, 440 something, you use $100. $100 will be just $1,000 will be 400 and something thousand. But when you take that 400 something thousand home, it will do something very meaningful. Do you understand? But now
Sure.
you will even have the $1,000 or $2,000 and send it, and you have 3 million. Now it's just answering the name 3 million.
Exactly.
So for those who think that because they are abroad and money, it's just the same thing. It
It's the
can
same thing.
only change if the value of naira at home, you
Yes.
understand, the value increases. If the
Exactly.
value increases, even if once you have it here and is exchanged, it will be
Mm.
meaningful. So why I said that this problem is from us is that some people are not even as patriotic as you are now. How many people will have the courage to come out to even speak like this? How many
That's true.
platforms now? These platforms we are all having. Eh? We have a lot of social media platforms that if somebody, so they say somebody sleep with somebody's wife, or somebody sleep with somebody's wife, or somebody does this kind of, it will be everywhere in those platforms. They will all put
Exactly.
ring light and all of them will be discussing it. And when they say something happened to somebody, this one, all of them will put ring light. Even those who say they are activists in Nigeria, that put the ring light on them. I have not seen the ring light.
Exactly.
I have not seen. That is why I tell you, the problem is with us.
You won't see them.
You will not see. But when it comes to some other things,
selected activism. You call it selected activism.
So, could you imagine? So that is the problem. The problem is with us, my brother. So by now, all the bloggers, all those influential pages, all those influential platforms should be hitting up. You understand? Hitting up and posting things that we even make the government put up an announcement that thing will not hold. It's possible. There are some comments. There are some statements the government will make now. You see, there will be no need to even go and demonstrate. There are some actions that the government will take now. Look at in Kenya, even when things were progressing, government resigned, he sacked all he dismissed all the cabinet. It was following in accordance with their demands.
Exactly.
So the issue is with us. I have seen the attitude of many people. Some people who call themselves activists, I don't like dragging people. They came out and had their utterances. Those of you who say you are going to protest, you are on your own, no, you are this one. How can you even protest? Who are you to protest? It's only them that is righteous. It's only them that knows what they are doing. Anything that does not come under their endorsement is not.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
You see, that is the problem. That is the problem. So, and this thing is as a result of our value principle. Just like you say, our mind has been corroded by some long or prolonged corrupt practices.
Exactly.
You understand? To the extent that we don't have enlightenment. We don't have enlightenment. We don't think. All we know now is, I'm just telling you, okay, look at how many people are watching us in this thing we're talking about. Let's change topic now and bring something about one woman or one girl.
You will see over 1,000 people will join now.
See, this is the kind of people we are. So it's not even for me. It's not about protest. It's about the mindset of the people. Because I'm telling you, half of the people, I don't want to say something bad, half of the people going there have inordinate mindset. It's just like when they were doing mobile something. I was watching. Some people turned it into business.
A lot of people
printed polo now. People brought all those stages. People did this. People did that. They want to cash out. Because you see these protests that are doing now, some people don't want to talk about it in their big platforms. When it starts, they will be recording videos there and be posting so that people will now be monetized. They will monetize the videos they get from the protest. You understand? By posting it. But now, nobody, no big platform is bringing up people. You see how I brought you up to talk about it? How many of them, if we can be talking about it from all corners, you will see. Government will even react. They will do something good even before that people can now say, since they are going this way, let's relax. You cannot underrate the power of social media.
True.
You cannot underrate it.
True.
So I think, my brother, I pray for the safety of the people going, and I continue to say caution, because the kind of people we are dealing with, just like you said, their value system, they don't value human beings, they don't value your life, they don't value anything. That's the problem. Because just like you said, instead of people coming to talk about why they want to protest, they are talking about stopping it.
Exactly.
They're not even saying, okay, you people are making sense, so what do we do? What do you do? You can see Wike came out and said, all he said is that Abuja is not going to tolerate anything, as if the father owns Abuja. You see, instead of saying, okay, what do Abuja contribute to make sure that this thing doesn't happen? The youth of Abuja, please, you will converge in this place. I will come and address you as Wike. You understand?
What I expected the presidency to do was to provide maximum security for the protesters, protesters, you are free to come out and protest. Let us hear what your problem. Let us hear what you want. Let us hear your views. Let us hear your opinion, and know how we can join heads together and solve the common problem. That is what I expected from the presidency. But you see, they came up with threats. They came up with all manner of threats, and this is what it is. So on the coming days, they are going to unleash the military to their citizens, which should be protected by the military. So they are going to unleash the militaries to go after the citizens, to shoot at the citizens, to kill the citizens, which they were to buy the citizens rather, which they were to which they are supposed to protect. You see, so they don't value life. Absolutely, they don't value life. The only thing these people is concerned about is themselves remaining in power, being in power. This is the only thing that they are concerned about. Well, let me give my final words. My fellow youths, under my voice, if you are under the sound of our voice this evening, please, I am urging every one of us on the protest days. Please, we should all be of good behavior. We should all make sure that we conduct ourselves. I am not going to tell you not to come out and protest, maybe because it is going to be turned as expected into a tribal war. It is going to be turned as expected into a political war. It is going to be politicized. It is going to become a tribal, religious, whatever. But I am urging every one of us to come out, do our part, and go home peacefully. Peacefully. We are not doing this for ourselves. We are doing it for our children yet unborn. We are doing it for the future of this country. We are doing it to contribute our own quota to making this country a better place for myself, for you, for your children, for your children's children, and for your fourth generation. And this is the best opportunity we have. We saw what happened in the past election, where we were told that our power is in our voters card, and it became very clear to us that we had no power on the voters card, as our votes did not count, as our votes were more or less void. So this is the only opportunity we have to correct the wrong that was done a few months ago. And so I urge every one of us, the much we can, let us come out in mass, let us come out peacefully and demonstrate and tell these people what is in our mind, and let them know where it is pinching us. Let them know where to correct their mistakes. Let them know where there are loopholes. Let them know the areas to tackle. Let them know the things that needs to be done. If we don't do this, nobody is going to do it for us. If we continue to fold our hands and hope that a day is going to come when things would become right, that day is never going to come. It is our civic responsibility. It is our civic right to come out and demonstrate, to come out and protest when we feel things are not going the way it should. And as it is, things are not going the way it should. The common man can no longer feed. The common man can no longer go to school. The common man cannot afford the basic things that is needed in life. And so I call upon every one of us to come out in mass and show that this thing that is going on in the government today is paining us, and it is getting to us, and it is paining us not just within the surface of our skin, but it is pinning us down to our bone marrow. This is our opportunity, and we must make maximum use of it. Thank you. You're on mute. You're mute.
Yeah, thank you, D. Williams, for coming. We're grateful for having you. Thank you. I think we will draw the curtain for the day. We all pray for a successful and peaceful demonstration and for government to react positively and to put Nigeria in a good economic status. and
Amen.
the citizens will rejoice. That's all we are praying for. And for those of us who are abroad who might not have opportunity to return, at least let's show solidarity, not
Yeah.
to go and post in your Facebook or whatever that all these people, anything you're doing, anything that happened to you is your business, all those kind of things, all this kind of thing. So we cannot be, we cannot all be there, but
Yeah.
our spirit can go in solidarity with those who
True.
have the courage to be there. Thank you, sir, for coming. Thank you for visiting us. We'll continue to call you if we have issues to discuss like this. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I thank you for making your platform available for issues like this. It is not everybody that would make their throw their platform open for topics like this, right? This is to show that you are patriotic. This is to show that you are brave. This is to show that you are not scared of anyone. There are people that they cannot dare allow this kind of topic to be discussed in their platform as a result of the fear of unknown. But I am happy that we have very few people, still left with balls that are still left, that has the mind to, come out and embrace situations the way they are. And I sincerely appreciate. I sincerely appreciate. I sincerely appreciate. Thank you very much. I am only assuring you that during the protest days, myself, I am going to be there. Definitely, I will be there because I am going there not for myself, but for my sons, my boys, Jason, Jidena, and Tobedna. I am going there for the kids that they are going to have. I am going there for my grandchildren, for my great grandchildren, for my fourth, my fifth, my sixth generation to come. I am going there to represent Obeta family. I am going there to represent Nsukka. I am going there to represent Enugu State. I am going there to represent the Igbo race. And I am not going to allow myself to be discouraged by the tribal cards that is already being played. I am not going to allow myself to be discouraged by the religious cards that is already being played. I am going to put in not just myself as a person, I'm going to put in my finance, I'm going to put in everything within my power to make sure that the protest which we are going to embark on is peaceful, that the protest is successful, and that our message is well conveyed to those at the helm of affairs, hoping that they are going to tackle the situation and that they are going to fix things and they are going to make things right. Fixing Nigeria is not that difficult. It is only going to take them to do what is right, which they know. They know exactly what to do. They know exactly what to do. They only need to set aside their greed. They only need to set aside their selfishness. They only need to set aside their self-centeredness to make things right in this country. It is not going to take even 1% of the money that is being squandered to fix one of the refineries that is being rotten on a daily basis. It is not going to take anything to fix the four refineries, and we have petrol, diesel, and other crude materials in quantum in this country. It is not going to take anything. We have
Even
resources.
even the employment, do you know the amount of employment is going to
Yeah,
offer?
of course, it is not going to take anything. And once all these things are fixed, every other thing is going to be settled. They know what to do. They know what to do. It is left for we, the citizens, to force them to do it. And we are going to do it. We are going to do it. I am very, very hopeful. I am very, very confident that we are definitely going to do it. They are working for us. Let us not forget, these people are public servants. They are working for us. They are working for us. They are working for us. And they are answerable to us. They are 100% answerable to us. Let us not give them the power that they don't have. We are, in fact, we are giving these people way too much power, which they don't have. And this has made them believe that they have all the power, in the world over us, which they don't have. It is our responsibility to put them in check. it is our responsibility to call them to order, and we are going to do that in the coming days. Thank you very much, Celebrity CSO. I
Yeah,
sincerely
thank you, my brother. I want to say something when I'm off. When I conclude, when I go offline, you can
okay,
still remain in the studio. Let me communicate something to you.
okay, all
So
right, all
don't
right,
go offline. Don't go
all
out.
all right.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, my people, I thank you. Today we had two episodes, two episodes. The first one was motivational by Eze Emeka, chasing your dreams. That was the topic, chasing your dreams because it is possible. This time we had um, um, Dr. Alberta D. Williams, the CEO of SPD Group. He was here. He talked about the protest and why Nigeria should change and why people should go out there and make sure it's peaceful and successful. God bless you. Thank you. Remember, this is Chinedu Anichi TV, your one and only celebrity CSO and the African voice in diaspora. God bless you. Tomorrow we'll be here again, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Remember to always tune in. God bless you.